is 1 cup of fluid, and I still have a little bit left in here, plus ice cubes. So guys, I got some ice cubes in there. See the ice cubes? Ice cubes in there. So I'm gonna pour this back in there, like that. And I'm gonna put the lid back on it so I don't spill it. And I did do some spilling of it. Whoa, I did. I spilled some of it. I really, really did. Right there, guys. I surely did. Just as I said I was not going to spill some of it, I spilled some of it. Can you believe it? All right, we're good. We're good. And I have a towel here. That was too awesome. So what are we talking about today, guys? We're talking about fluid overload, and we're talking about it in dialysis patients. Good. Thank God I had a towel. All right. So what do we have? A cup here, and I poured out no more. I'm not going to do it again. My fluid out of my sealed cup. And I love the one with the lock on it. That's why you see me with this. That's why I do that. To prevent the spilling. Okay. So it's getting summer. It's getting hot, warm. And most of you know that I work in dialysis. Okay. And as a caregiver, and I'm very concerned about our clients, our family members, and the ones that are on dialysis. Okay, guys, just making sure I get all of that little spill up right there. Keep that nice and dry. And they have to deal with the heat. They have to deal with staying cool. They have to deal with not drinking too much fluid. Not drinking too much fluid. And the ones of us that are not on dialysis, so guys, it kind of landed on my book. So that's why I'm doing that. I'm moving my booklet out of the way. Yeah, putting it over here so it'll be nice and dry. Okay, it just slipped right out of my hand. As soon as I said I don't want to spill it now, it was gone. Okay, all right, I think we're set now. I believe we are set. Are we set? Yeah, I think we're set. Okay. So the ones of us that are caregivers and we have loved ones that are on dialysis, sometimes we don't always understand the trials. It's really a trial. It can be a struggle for them in trying not to drink too much. And then when they do drink too much, it causes a lot of problems. A lot of problems for them. And it can cause problems for you as a caregiver because now you're going to be stressed because they're stressed. They're going to be having trouble breathing and doing all sorts of things, you know? So we're going to talk about that for a little bit today. And I have a video clip that I want to show you. Hopefully we can get that up as well, of someone that is actually on dialysis. And he's going to share some of the things that he does to help himself during this time. But let's just talk a little bit about why would this even be a concern? Because when we're not on dialysis, we're told to drink. We're told to drink. And we're told to get in at least 2 liters or 8 glasses, at least 6 to 8 glasses a day, which would be like this cup here, 6 to 8 of these in cups of in a day. And I notice a lot of times when our clients go to their physician, go to their doctors, And the doctors will say sometimes, you're not drinking enough. You need to drink some more. And they're like saying, but I can't. You know what I mean? And sometimes they don't get it because they're not in that specialty with dealing with dialysis, especially hemodialysis. That's the one we're talking about here because on some of the other ones, the peritoneal, that's the one they do through the stomach, and some of the there's different ones we do. And on some, you can have a little more leeway than you can on the others. But on hemodialysis, this is the one that where you come in center. Because you'll see you'll bring your loved one to the center, and they'll go inside, and we'll place them on a machine for 3 hours, whatever the doctor prescribes. The most sometimes is 4 hours. The most is 4 hours. It's got to be extreme and extreme sometimes to be like 5 hours or something. That is really long. So mostly the shortest is kind of like 3 hours, and then you have 3.5 hours, and then you have 4 hours. So whatever the doctor prescribes to help us get this fluid off of them is what we do. So before we show the video, I'm not going to spill any more fluid. I'm going to drink this. I already spilled it, all right? So I'm not going to spill anymore. Managing fluid intake is crucial for patients on hemodialysis because their kidneys can no longer remove excess fluid effectively. That's what our kidneys do. So dialysis then helps filter out waste because our kidneys, when they're working properly, they will filter out the waste and the excess water that we don't need. That's why as normally, you urinate about once every 2 hours. And unless you're drinking a really lot that day or doing something, you might go more often. Or unless you're taking some type of a water pill to make you go more, you'll go more often. Or sometimes coffee, a lot of coffee can do it, things of that sort. But just in the normal range, we mainly go about once every 2 hours, okay? Well, if your kidneys are not working, you're not going at all. Or if you go, you might go very little, go scanty. You'll have a small amount of urine that comes out. The only other thing about that is that small amount of urine won't be filtering out the waste that is in your body. Remember the baby diaper that after a while it smells that ammonia scent? So those are electrolytes and waste in products that as we eat food and we drink into our bodies does not need that excess anymore. It's called waste. So the kidneys filter out what we don't need, and that's why we'll get the smell or whatever the case may be. So if you don't do that, it stays in you. Everything, whatever it is, it stays in you. Now, of course, your bowels don't stay in you because your bowels are still moving, still working. We're talking about fluid. So this would be your urine. So dialysis helps filter out waste and fluids, but it is not as efficient as healthy kidneys working continuously. Nothing will be as efficient as our healthy kidneys. Nothing. God gave them to us. They work fine. They work so well till the majority of us don't even think about them until there's some type of a problem. They're inside and they're in there. You're not focusing on your kidney. Like, what is that? Right? And then all of a sudden, you know what they are and what they do. You realize what they are not doing. So we're hoping that's not going to happen. But we're talking about to the people that have already gotten to that stage. They're in what we call end-stage renal disease, and their kidneys are not working. And so they're coming to the unit and they are receiving dialysis 3 days a week. Uh, Usually it's going to be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you come a day, rest a day, come a day, rest a day, like this. And only time you're going to do it back to back is if you got something special going on. Maybe you're traveling, you need to have something done, and you make up your thing. Other than that, it's every other day. And this, I'm sharing this for people that don't know about dialysis, and also talking to family caregivers and helping them also understand more so the fullness of what is happening with their loved one. So here's why controlling fluid intake matters. So let's talk about that, and then we'll get into the video, and then we'll be done. All right, number one, it prevents swelling and high blood pressure. You say, wow, what? Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh. Even with our kidneys still working, the ones of us that suffer from hypertension, that's why you will always hear your doctors and all say that the number one causes of kidney failure is what? Hypertension and diabetes. Hypertension and diabetes. The other, type 1, that would be type 2 diabetes. Type 1, that's genetic. You're born with that and you deal with it. And then some people, even with type 2, with, I don't mean type 2 diabetes, I'm talking about the kidney failure now. Some people with kidney failure, some things are still passed down, and it will end up being maybe mom have it, and then somewhere down the line, and another child will get it. And that can happen too. But in general, most of the time, the number one causes is hypertension and diabetes, and then we go on down from there. So, what does the fluid intake matters, because we're going to control it, because it does what? It prevents swelling and high blood pressure. Excess fluid can lead to swelling, which you've heard the word edema. Edema, when you press on your ankles, your legs, and you get an indentation where it sits down in there for a while, and you see, or you see the doctor checking and pressing, see how far it sinks and what's going on. Edema, it can be in the hands, it can be in the feet, it can be in the face, making movement uncomfortable, increasing blood pressure. Let's see here. Can I do this for a quick moment? Okay, for a quick moment. Guys, I haven't been on in a while on this one. Been doing a lot of shorts, but this is important because summer is here. Warm weather is here. Let me see what it's saying here for. All right, we're going to give some tips here, but I wanted to share about the blood pressure one. So it's not, so it increases blood pressure. More fluid, more pressure makes the heart work that much harder. Okay, number 2, it reduces strain on the heart, which I just said. So too much fluid forces the heart to work harder, increasing the risk of what? Heart complications, because the heart is going to work, because with fluid overload, we're overloaded with fluid. It also avoids breathing difficulties. So if you got too much dialysis people now, if you have too much fluid, you get a fluid built up in the lungs, and that can cause shortness of breath and discomfort. Let me tell you something. You don't want to see your loved one, see, can I stop that phone from ringing? You don't want to see your loved one that is on dialysis and they have too much fluid on. You don't want to see it. It is not good. Nobody is sleeping that night. Nobody's going to be sleeping because they can't lay down, they can't hardly sit up, they can't cough, they can't get the fluid out. It is a miserable, miserable time. And the ones that can try to fight through it, let's just say it's over the weekend, and that's a big thing. That's a big thing because if there are days or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, then they have those 2 days, which everybody's good to have. But then they have what? Sunday and they have Monday. And that is 2 days to get too much fluid. It depends on what the temperature is and what's going on. And so they can get a big, big, big build up, too much fluid in there. And now they just can't wait until Tuesday come to get to their dialysis treatment. Or they end up having to go into emergency and getting it done that way. And these are things that we want to avoid. We want to avoid these things. Um, let's talk a little bit about that. Caregivers, let's talk a little bit about that. So holidays are coming, in summer activities, and you might have a mixed family as far as um, diets are concerned. Diets are concerned. Okay, you got the kids and everybody on regular diet. You have the person that is on dialysis. They're on a dialysis diet. So everybody else can drink all they want, eat all the watermelon they want, all the popsicles they want, drink all the pop they want, do everything they want because there's not going to be a problem. And they can go and be eating and running to the bathroom, eating and running to the bathroom, eating and running to the bathroom, or drinking rather, and running to the bathroom, drinking and running to the bathroom. You now, your loved one is on dialysis, hemo, and they are thirsty and they want to drink too, and they want to eat the cold things too, and the popsicles and the watermelon. They want to do all this, but they are not running to the bathroom. So this is just some pointers to help you think. They're not running to the bathroom. They're continuously sitting there and eating and drinking and eating and drinking. And guess what? It is just staying in there and accumulating, accumulating, accumulating. And it's not just staying in the stomach, it's expanding. Remember I said it gets in the hands, the feet, the face, the body blows up with fluid. So we want to avoid these things if we can, and hopefully we can bring a few short series this summer. I want to target this for a minute because it is so important um, in helping the family caregiver and helping the family realize how can I help my loved one not drink so much fluid. It's just not going to be easy, guys, because they're going to want to do it. Sometimes they might feel that you are being mean. They feel that you're targeting them, and you're trying to say, I just don't want you to go to the hospital. I just don't want you to be sick. I don't want you to be uncomfortable. So there are ways that we're going to talk about some things that you can do. And in this short video, we're going to see he's going to also share some things that he does. So let's move on quickly. So then we want to avoid this if we can. So now, minimizes dialysis related complications. So, removing too much fluid during dialysis can cause cramping. So now what happens? And you can talk to any dialysis patient, and if you have a family member that is on dialysis, I'm sure you've already experienced them dealing with cramping, headache, blood pressure going too low, maybe they passing out, different types of things can happen. And we try our best. I know I do as a dialysis technician for the last soon be 14 years. Make it a point to try my best as I'm working with my clients to help to try to set a goal and work with them to not remove too much fluid and not to, because it is very, 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 it's not good. However, sometimes it does happen. Sometimes they'll want you to. They'll say, oh, no, just take me on to where I need to be. And the only thing about that is if we remove too much fluid where it gets to you cramping, having a headache, your blood pressure drop really low, guess what we need to do? We need to replenish. So we're going to have to give you back give you back fluid that we took away. Because you sat there, your loved one, not you, your loved one sat there for 3 hours. Remember, I said depends on whatever prescription the doctor orders. Very few 3 hours we have. The majority is 3.5 hours or 4 hours. So they've sat there now for 4 hours, and we've removed the fluid and got them to their what we call target weight, dry weight, where it's balanced in their body. But it's almost a little under. The muscles are saying no more. You know how you see the football players and they're playing out there, they get a cramp, man. Then all of a sudden they start chucking down Gatorade and they're doing things to get some fluid back in there because the muscles are saying, whoa, too much, too much, too much. I'm crying here, I'm crying. So then we have to in turn give them fluid back because the muscles are crying. And sometimes then let's say we removed a cup, just an illustration. So let's say we remove a cup and then the muscles are crying and we have to give back at least a half a cup in order for the muscles to stop crying. And then they come home and it's hot and they are thirsty and they need to drink. And now they're saying, I need something to drink. I got to drink. I'm thirsty. And so we give them a pop or we give them whatever they want. Remember now, they had a cup. I removed the whole cup, but then I had to give them half a cup back. So now they only have like a half a cup left to drink because I had to give some back before they're ready to come back to get the cup removed again. That is going to be really, really hard to just try to hold them to a cup, even though they know it. But I'm sorry, I'm still thirsty. And I got like what, a whole 2 days ago or whatever the case may be. This is not going to work. So I got to have some fluid. I gotta have some fruit. You know, anything that's liquid, anything that melts, counts into this cup. So if it's watermelon, the juice from the watermelon counts in this cup. If it's grapes or whatever kind of fruit you can find, if it's Jello, it's a pudding, anything that melts will take away from the amount in this cup. So now they eat. They eat, and the food is highly seasoned, basically with salt. With salt. Okay. The water follows salt. So if you eat a bag of salted potato chips, the first thing you're going to want to do is drink. Say, wow, I need something to drink. Ate some potato chips. Ate some peanuts, whatever you ate. Food that's eating your regular seasoned food. Nice seasoned steak, you know. But if it's got a fair amount of salt or sodium in it, you're going to want to drink. So what is that doing to your cup? It's filling it up, filling it up, filling it up. Before you know it, you're going to be over and over and over and over. So you're going to be too much fluid. So a couple of tips here in the video, and we're going to see what we can do. So tips for managing fluid intake. Because I can tell you what it is to have too much, but how can we help you as a caregiver know how to help your loved one manage this fluid overload? How can we help you? Okay. So you want to limit the salt intake. the best that you can. In some of the ways, and we'll talk about this in another video, on how we found that you have to learn to include other seasonings. And in the basic African American community, in the Black community, we basically salt, black pepper, and we can really go with that. And as time has gone on, we've learned how to add in maybe some other seasonings, but we definitely got to have our salt and our black pepper. I had to learn with my late husband, Ben, over here, how we had to incorporate other seasonings. And again, like I said, in another video, we'll talk about that. We want to use frozen fruit. Frozen fruit. Is some of the clients say they have frozen grapes. You can buy frozen fruit. I think there's all kind of fruit that you can eat on your dialysis diet, that your loved one can have on their dialysis diet. There's some things they have to be very, very careful of because of the potassium and the different things in there. So, of course, not going to give them frozen bananas and things of that sort. But there are berries and strawberries and things that they can eat and grapes. So frozen. Back to what? Good old ice chips. Ice chips, ice chips, ice chips. And instead of drinking large amounts of liquid, you're going to drink a measured amount of liquid. So you saw me before I spilled this. I poured it out of here, and it was a good cup. It was a good cup in here, plus my ice cubes. So you can get you a cup by like so. It'll tell you 12 ounces or whatever the case may be. And one of these are good for your loved one that's on dialysis. And you'll see this in the video as well, because it keeps it cold or it keeps it warm. In the colder, in the summer, we're talking about heat now in the summer, the colder it is, the better. The colder it is, the better. Why? Because you won't gulp it. Your loved one won't just take it and chug a lug and just chug it all down. If it's cold, they're going to sip on it. Or if the fruit are frozen, you're going to put in a frozen strawberry or frozen grape or something, and it's going to kind of chew, suck on it there, help you control that desire to drink. You want to monitor daily fluid consumption, and that's what I just said. You figure out, okay? So now most of the time, 1 liter, and you can do this. You can buy a 1 liter container, or you can buy just a liter bottle, and you can measure that, and you see what 1 liter is. And so with that 1 liter, you know now if I drink the whole bottle, and this is for your caregivers with your loved ones that's on dialysis, not you. Your kidneys are working fine. It's for them. If they drink that 1 liter of fluid, they say, okay, I my 2 days off, I drink the whole liter. So I got my liter in. Or if they're drinking 2 liters, they're going like, whoa, I'm going to be over. You know what I mean? I'm in 3 liters. They really chucking it down. Because if you're not keeping track and you're drinking out pop after pop or this, just, and then you're eating fruit. Remember I told you now fruit, anything that melts goes into this count. Anything that melts, remember? So if you're throwing in pudding, jello, anything that melts, ice cube melts, these types of things. The thing with the ice cube is this, let me show you. If I fill this cup up full of ice cubes, when it melts, it's going to melt down to about half of this cup. Where if I fill it up full of water, I got a full thing of water. But if I'm chewing on ice cubes, I'm not getting as much as if I chug a lug this whole cup down full of just nice, cool water or whatever the case may be. Now, you want to track your weight gain. So, guys, I know all of you that have family members at home that's on dialysis. I'm pretty sure you have a scale. You have a scale there, and some of my clients are very apt about this. They one guy he has it to the T. He comes in and he weighs himself. He knows exactly how much he has on. All I have to do is ask him, how much do you want to take off? He tells me exactly how much you want to take off. Then he figures it at the end, because what we do, and the ones of you that know this, you know this already with your family members that are on dialysis, we weigh you before your treatment starts, and then we weigh you after your treatment starts. So when we weigh you before, we see if you have on this full cup. And if at the end of the treatment, if we've been able to do it well, if we did it well with no cramping, no blood pressure dropping, none of that stuff, right? So if we did it really good, then at the end of the treatment, you would be a cup less. You would be to what we would call your target weight, or your desired weight, or your kidney balance weight. See? And so then now you would have the whole day that you're off to drink another whole cup of fluid. See? And you won't be overloaded. And even if you went a little bit over, you won't be that much overloaded. Okay? But if you come in and you've just been drinking cup after cup after cup, maybe you got 3 of these on, 4 of these on, something like that, we can't take it off. We can't take it off. Why? Because the heart, the heart, your heart only allows us to take off so much fluid in a session, in that 3.5 hours or in that 4 hours. So if you're well overloaded, we just can't just take it all off, because your heart won't tolerate it, and secondly, your body won't tolerate it. So the better thing to do is help your loved one try not to put on excess. Again, it's not going to be easy, and they probably won't even like you for this. But if they're new on dialysis, it's going to be hard. But you can work with them and try and help them see how much better they're going to be by not being overloaded, not always going to the emergency room, having these crashes, not being able to breathe at night, because of so much fluid on. These things are just not, and you don't want to, they're not going to ruin the family dinner, ruin the family picnic. Why? Because all of a sudden they just got on too much fluid. Now, one of the terrible things, and I promise you we get to the video, one of the terrible things is this, and I had to work with it, because it's not easy for them. It's not easy for your loved ones to always have to say, somebody's always in their face, here, you don't have another drink. Here, man, you're not drinking. Take a pop. Man, you're not drinking. You need a cup of this. You get another slice of watermelon. Get another this. And they think, and don't, please, the family members and friends think that they are doing the right thing. They really do. They mean no harm. But they don't know that your loved one is on dialysis. They can't do those things. And so for your loved ones on dialysis, now it becomes a mental, psychological thing now, because they got to be able to say, no, I got enough. I know I can't have that. I know this. And so if the family members don't understand, they're thinking, I don't know, he used to drink 10 of those. Now he only want one. Or, oh, she used to do this. And you're going to say, well, okay, you don't always have to, everywhere you go, they're on dialysis. They're on kidney failure. They're on this. You don't want to. So one of the key things that we found, my husband and I, we took us a while and we figured this one out. Okay. Have your loved one that's on dialysis, when they're at these family functions or out somewhere, to always have something in their hand. Always have a container with the amount of fluid that they can drink in their hand. These cups are awesome. I'm telling you, you saw I spilled that thing. They're spill free. I mean, they're awesome. They lock, and you can put them in the car and you can fit them wherever. You know what they do. You got them yourself, I'm sure. So always have one of these in their hand, and they can always, whenever they want, take a sip. Mhm. They know how much they got, know how much they're sipping, and what's going on. So when the other loved ones, friends, come around and they say, "Oh, yeah," you can say, "Yeah, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good." It works. Okay, it works. No, 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 I'm good. I got it right here. I got it right here. I'm real good. And you then don't have to like lose your dignity in anything of that sort because you're forever saying, "No, I can't have it. I'm gonna." No, no, no. You got to do none of that. Just I'm good right here. Yep, I got everything I need right here. And I brought it with me. You see what I'm saying? And when you go, you know, even to restaurants, probably some places you can bring things in. If you go to a place where you can't bring something in, then you would ask for a measured cup if you could. You would ask, not they won't give you a measuring because this is a cooking my measuring cup, but I mean in the restaurant I'm sure they can give you a cup that you can know that it's about 8 ounces, or you could even say to the waiter or waitress says, "Do you have like an 8 ounce glass of water that I could get like an 8 ounce glass?" And I'm sure they go, "Oh yeah, sure, okay." So that's what I need, not the big one, but I need the one that's 8 ounces. So now you know that even in the restaurant you're controlling it because you have 8 ounces. You see? Now I had to learn these things. This didn't come overnight. Yeah, I'm telling you, but I don't mind sharing them with you, and it can help you. So now let us take a few minutes and see what this short video is about from this gentleman that is on dialysis. And I think his name is Carl or Kyle. See, can I pull up this video here? Don't want to do that. Let's see, can we find it? Hold on with me, please. Hold on. Let's see if we can get this one.
Hi, how's it going? My name's Kyle. I've been a dialysis patient since 2013. So over the years, I've been on multiple modalities and also learned a few things about dialysis. So that's what this channel is focused on talking about. Today, we're going to talk about fluid management and how to keep cool, especially on the hot weather days. So as a dialysis patient, sometimes your temperature changes. You don't feel the same temperature that everybody else does. And even during the summertime, my perfect range is about from 65 degrees Fahrenheit to about 85 degrees. So those are my low and the high. If it's below that, or even sometimes when the weather changes from 80 degrees to 65 in the same day, I get cold and I'm going to want to put a jacket on. If it's too hot or too warm, I like to have the air conditioning on or a fan, depending on how hot it is. Okay, so it's important to keep your temperature well so that you feel good, not just besides the treatments. Another thing that helps me during the summer to keep cool and regular hydrate is I drink water. I don't drink sodas too much. I don't drink any other sugary stuff too much because sometimes, in my opinion, sugar doesn't really help you. It's not even good for healthy folks. It's known to be an inflammatory agent, and I just don't need that. And sometimes if I have too much sugar, I crash an hour or two later from that sugar rush. So I just stick to regular water. This is one of my water bottles I do. I know it doesn't have the measurements right on here. However, this one keeps the cold temperature cold. It keeps the hot beverages warm during the winter. So it's very helpful. And I know this is about 12 ounces here on this when I bought it. So I looked at it and do that. Most days on hemo, I will drink one or two of these. And what I do is fill it up with ice first and then put the water in so that it takes up the volume. And then to help me manage my fluids in terms of how much I'm drinking, because sometimes you have fluid restrictions on dialysis, especially on in-center hemo, I will pay attention to this and make myself work a little bit harder when I have to refill it. So I fill it with ice, then I add the water in there. I drink some water, small sips at a time when I need it. And over time, if you're new, it just takes some time to adjust, okay? And also, if you're new, eliminate as much of the excess sodium and sugars because those things do make you more thirsty and want to drink more. So if you drink a lot of sodas or not, whatnot, there's a reason why you drink a lot of sodas because that sugar and sort of the caffeine, the chemicals, makes you want more and more. So if you sort of try to eliminate that and start cutting back on those, then you start adjusting to the fluid levels that you're restricted to if you have restrictions. So I drink the water. Once I drink the water down, I wait for the ice to melt before I drink some more. Sometimes I get extra thirsty, so I'll refill a little bit earlier. But most days, I can wait for the ice to melt, just let it sit there. Again, this is well insulated for hot or cold, and it's a metal water bottle, and so it'll keep my beverages cold or warm as I like those, depending on what the season is. So that's a little bit about fluid management, how I keep cool during the hot weather days. Hopefully you enjoy this topic. If you do, please click like. And then if you're new with us, do go down below and click the subscribe button, ring the little bell so you get notifications when new vlogs come out.
Wow, guys. Wow, guys. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you so much for giving us that information. And it's kind of like right into what we were saying. His cup was red, mine is silver and black. And it's kind of beat up too. I think it's time I get a new one on here. Yeah, it's time I get a new one, guys. This is the Courage one that I have right there. And I think mine do about the same thing. 5 hours hot, 12 hours cold is this one. Yeah. So now let's take the last few minutes here and let's see how we can do some affirmations. I love to do affirmations. And to support hemodialysis patients and their caregivers, we get inspiration from the Lord, you know? And in everything that we're doing, we acknowledge the Lord. Always, always. You know, I hope you never get tired of me doing that because that's what I do. So we have five. Let's see, can we do those real quick? The first one is Psalms 46:1, and it says, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Let's repeat that. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. What is our affirmation? You ready? Say it with me. I am guided by God's strength. My support brings comfort and stability to my loved one's journey. Come on, family caregivers, let's say it again. I am guided by God's strength, my support and comfort and stability. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. My support brings comfort. My support brings comfort and stability to my loved one's journey. Amen. Our next one is Isaiah 40, verse 31. It says, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. But they that wait upon the Lord, shall renew their strength. Now, our affirmation, are you ready? It says, through patience and faith, I find renewed energy to guide my loved one through each dialysis session with wisdom and care. Oh man, that is so rich right there. That is so rich. Let's do that one again. Because every treatment is different. Every dialysis treatment is different. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. Every treatment is different. And only people that are in this life understand what I'm talking about. Only people that have dialysis family members, only people that bring their loved ones into those centers, only you understand. This video is not for everybody. This is for people that have loved ones that are on dialysis. A lot of people won't get this. They have no idea what we're talking about. So let's do that affirmation again. It says, and this one again is from Isaiah 40:31, says, through patience and faith, I find renewed energy to guide my loved ones through each dialysis session with wisdom and care. Each dialysis, every day is different. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one, which is 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. It says, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. All right, let's do our affirmation. Are you ready? Caregivers, let's go. Family caregivers, are you ready? Even in moments of exhaustion, God's grace sustains me. I am equipped to offer love and encouragement, even in moments of exhaustion. God's grace sustains me. I am equipped to offer love and encouragement. The next one is Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. It says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Okay? All right, this is for you. Are you ready? Here's the affirmation. I am not alone in this journey. God provides rest and restoration as I care for my loved one. Say that again with me. I am not alone in this journey. God provides what? Rest and restoration as I care for my loved one. Amen. This is our last affirmation here. It's Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. It says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. Let me change that to you. You can do all things through Christ, which strengthens you. Here's our affirmation. Are you ready? With faith, I am empowered to help my loved one manage fluids. Oh man, I love this one. Support their well-being and navigate challenges with resilience. Resilience is bounce back. I love this one. Guys, let's say this one again. Come on, let's do it. It says, with faith, I am empowered to help my loved one manage fluids. I can help my loved one manage fluids. I can do it, God, with faith. Oh, God. With faith in God, family members, wife, mother, daughter, son, father. With faith, you can help. You can help your loved one manage fluids. You can help them not drink too much. You can help them not you can help them. It says he said support their well-being. Yes, you can with faith. And you can navigate challenges with resilience. You can do it. He said, but you just don't know. I hear some people say he's stubborn. It's just not easy. They say you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. So you can't, and I know this, you can't make anybody do anything. You can't change anybody's mind. If they want to do it, they're going to do it. Sometimes you just have to let them bump their heads against the wall. All of that could be true. All of that could be true. I don't doubt it because we all have our own will. And if I don't want to do something, it's very hard for you to get me to do it if I don't want to do it. If my mind is made up, I just don't want to do it. But you know what? God has the power to change hearts, to change minds. God does. And sometimes, sometimes when that loved one realizes that it's not just about them anymore, but it's about their loved ones, maybe their family, maybe their kids, their wife, or their whomever they have, they might realize that, you know, I need to work with them because I want to be able to go to the graduations. I want to be able to go to the weddings. I want to be able to just spend the holidays at home. I want to be able to go camping. I want to be able to go to the parks. I want to be able to watch the games on TV with the family. I want to do these family functions. I even want to go. I mean, a fruit fly flying around here. I even want to go to. I want to travel. I want to go to the family reunion. I want to do these things. I want to do them. So, by you not forcing, but lovingly encouraging that loved one, hon, I bought you a cup, and this is your cup. We all like to have our own cup. That fruit fly is going to have to go. We all have our own cup. I got a whole cupboard full of cups, glasses, and everything, but my favorite. And so I'm going like, oh man, you starting to peel. I need to go get a new one. Let's do it. My favorite cup. You can even get it and have their name engraved on it or something. I don't know. You can find one that's their favorite color. I'm just saying that the scripture says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And the affirmation says, with faith. It says, with faith, I am empowered to help my loved one manage fluids. It says, with faith, you're empowered. So I believe that God can give you ideas on how to show maybe love and encouragement as you're caring for them. I do. I believe God can give you ideas to help you do that, you know? So I'm going to say this is going to be for hemodialysis. This is going to be like a series, maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 videos dealing with different ways to help manage fluid during these hot months. And I'm hoping, because I've had some coworkers who are professionals, nurses that work in dialysis, is all they do. And they've agreed, and I don't know how we do it, that they would come with me on one of the videos and give some pointers as well. Because sometimes, like on the video you just heard with Kyle, you need to hear it from the ones of us that work in it, but you need to hear it from the ones that are actually doing it. that are actually on dialysis themselves, and they can tell you, I don't know what it feels like because I just know when I get thirsty, I drink. Yeah, when I get thirsty, I drink. But by God's grace, I can still eliminate. They can't, and we're going to be there for them, and we're going to help them. So I need to do that affirmation one more time. Can we do it one more time before we go? Come on, guys. This is the last one. It says what? Built from Philippians 4:13. So what it says, with faith, I am empowered to help my loved one manage fluid. Manage fluid. It says, with faith, I am empowered to help my loved one manage fluid. And that's what this is about right here. There's a lot of stuff. Support their well-being, yes. Navigate challenges, yes. All that's good. But this one today is about managing fluid. Managing fluid. Not drinking too much. Not overworking the heart. Not crashing, having problems. That's what this one is about today. And I just want to say I thank you. I want to say, guys, if you like this video, if you have some good pointers on what you do to help your family member, or if you got some good pointers on what they do to manage their fluid, any pointers, any comments, I welcome them. If you have an affirmation that will help, because this is all about caregiver support. This is here to help you. I've been through it. I'm just working in it now. And my heart is to help you, to help family caregivers that are dealing with this today. And we're gonna be going through some warm days. Right now, I'm in Rochester, New York, and it is 74 degrees. And it is exactly 4:49 p.m. We're headed toward 5 o'clock. And it is 74 degrees in Rochester. So now if you're in Florida, or if you're in South Georgia, or if you're in Texas, or if you're in Virginia, or if you're in any of those states, or wherever you are, you could even be, because I have a lot of followers that are in Africa. You're in Kenya, you're in Zimbabwe, you're in Ghana, you're anywhere around there, and it is hot, 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 and you're dealing with dialysis. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you and your family members, your loved ones, to support you in helping to make your life more comfortable, more sustainable, and where you can enjoy your summer days. That's what this is about. Does that make sense? That makes sense to anybody? I really want to know. Guys, I want to hear from you so bad. I really want to hear from you. And I appreciate you, all my new subscribers. God bless you. Thank you so much. And thank you for the thumbs up and the comments and all that we do. When we do the walking videos, that's encouragement for our dialysis guys who are family caregivers, period, who are unable to get out and do those things. And we like to bring videos in so you can follow us, give you a refreshing moment. You even if you can't watch I pray you can watch the whole video, but you know what I mean. You might have to watch it in sessions or whatever you need to do. But you see us as we're walking about, we're out enjoying. And it's think of us as we're walking for you. If you can't do it, we're walking for you, or we're walking with you. Okay? See it as we're walking with you. And then in the church services, guys, I put those on so that you can get your spiritual uplifting, get your spirit filled. Yeah, for the ones of you that are believers, that you can get your spirit filled. Get a dynamic word from the Lord on our Sunday videos. Yeah. And in our Wednesday Bible studies, whenever we can get those. I don't know. Is anything there to bring you encouragement? Okay. So, guys, I love you. I truly do. Thank you. You mean the world to me. Appreciate all that you do. Continue doing it. And I'm going to see you in my next